What's up, Bulls Nation? My name is Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be discussing whether or not the Chicago Bulls have a chance to get Giannis Antetokounmpo in the 2025 free agency period. Now, I prolonged this video for a long time because I did feel like there was more important things to talk about outside of the hypothetical situation with no guarantee of the outcome actually happening. In a sense that it's good to hype up the fact that Giannis may be leaving Milwaukee soon and that the Bulls have a chance to get him, but there's no guarantee of Giannis leaving Milwaukee, and there's no guarantee he would come to the Bulls if he did leave Milwaukee. But is there a chance? That is the question we're going to be answering today. But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, or subscribe, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and whether or not they will be able to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. So, let's answer that question right now. I'm going to give you a one answer, and then I'll explain why. Can the Chicago Bulls get Giannis Antetokounmpo in the 2025 free agency period? Yes, they can. And I think it's very clear that the Bulls have that sort of idea in their mind, and they might be willing to clear out the cap space to bring Giannis Antetokounmpo in. But hear my words when I say this. Just because they can does not mean it's going to happen. There are so many things that needs to be discussed about to even fathom the idea of Giannis Antetokounmpo coming to the Chicago Bulls team. And I'll give you an example. If Milwaukee are not on the same page and they're not designed to win a championship and they let down Giannis again, what makes you think that the Bulls are going to be the right place for Giannis to go and win a championship if we're continuing to fall further behind in the standings? At the end of the day, if you see the Bulls finish 10th in the Eastern Conference, I'm sorry, Giannis coming into this team will definitely boost us up. It will definitely make us a competing team. But again, that should not be the focus of the Chicago Bulls if they can't even get out of the play-in tournament. So again, with Giannis Antetokounmpo, there's going to be so much competition for that player because he's a generational talent, and any team that he's on should definitely be a threat to compete. That there's going to be teams that I think are more ideal for Giannis to compete for a championship than the Chicago Bulls. I think the reason why the Bulls are so, I guess, not even confident, it's more of the idea that they're excited about the idea of Giannis, is because Giannis mentioned the Bulls a couple of years ago when he talked about another team he could play for. And he talked about how much he respected the Bulls, how much he rated them, and obviously watching back on the Bulls' history and stuff of that nature, which is always a good sign. And it definitely means that the Bulls are on his radar. And that's something that we should always keep in mind. And that's why I have every, I guess, respect if the Bulls decide, hey, we have a shot at this, we need to go all out for it. Because again, you don't turn down, my apologies, guys like Giannis when they come available. You just don't. I have full 100% belief that the Bulls should be going after Giannis Antetokounmpo in the 2025 free agency. Leave no stone unturned. If he's there, and especially if he wants to come, then you got to make everything possible in your way to bring Giannis to the Chicago Bulls team. If that's the luxury tax, you do it. If that's trades, you do it. If that's letting people go that you don't necessarily want to see go, you do it. You do whatever it takes to bring a generational talent into the Chicago Bulls. It is as simple as that. But as I said before, there are going to be a bunch of teams pursuing Giannis. Are we going to be the ideal team for him? That is the question that we all need answered. And if we don't do well this season, I can't see a reason why Giannis would pick the Bulls over, let's say, a team like... Let's think of a team. Let's think of the team like... Maybe a team like Dallas. Let's say Dallas gets into the... It gets a higher standing than us. Or Sacramento. Or... Memphis. I'm literally picking random teams. I don't know anything about their financial situation, but any team that has an opportunity to go after Giannis, they're in a better position to win. Why would he pick the Bulls over them if his main goal is to win a championship? It's the only reason why he would leave Milwaukee. Is if he feels like they're not on the same page and they can't win a championship. That team is also aging. So again, it might not be ideal for Giannis to stay there, but this Bulls team is aging as well. So you have to work around and you have to show Giannis at least that you're willing to change this roster up to make it go a little bit younger and ready to compete for multiple years. You got to make sure if he's going to sign a long-term deal with the Chicago Bulls that those years are not wasted with the Chicago Bulls team. So again, It's going to be up to Giannis, of course it is. He mentioned the Bulls, of course he did, and that's fantastic. And I love the idea that he at least is thinking about the Bulls in one way, form, or fashion. But it's going to take more than that. And the Bulls have got to really step up their game, not only this season, but in future years to come, if you're expecting Giannis to commit his future here. So that's really all I got to say. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. You can never deny anything in this league. Anything is possible. You know, unless there's, I guess, for example, a guy like Damian Lillard that's basically saying, I don't want to go anywhere but the Miami Heat, then all things are possible. You could trade for anybody in this league, in my opinion, for the right price. Well, not everybody, but most people you could trade for the right price. It's all about whether or not you could get those pieces, or you could sign people for the right price. It's whether or not they'd want to come here. But I'll tell you this much as well. If we could sign Giannis Antetokounmpo to the Chicago Bulls, that's going to be a massive reputation change from how we kind of viewed the Chicago Bulls in previous years. I think DeMar DeRozan is a good signing in free agency, and it was definitely an indicator that the free agents of the world, the superstar free agents of the world, would want to come to Chicago. But if you sign Giannis, you're literally bringing a generational talent into this Bulls team from free agency. That's an amazing feat if we could get that done. And no one's going to be talking about AK out or AK this, AK that, Mark Eversley this, Mark Eversley that, the Bulls GM this, Bulls GMs that, front office, even the owners. They're not going to be talking anything negatively towards these people if you bring Giannis Antetokounmpo into this team. So, again, it's getting me excited just thinking about it. But look, we've got to put our feet on the ground here. There's a short-term goal for the Chicago Bulls that we've got to focus on next season, and that is trying to compete at the highest level possible. That's trying to prove that this Bulls team has another chance in them to really thrive. That's to show that this Bulls team can compete when it's all said and done. It's to show that we can win games. It's to show that we can be in the playoffs. These are the things that we need to show now, this current season. Forget about 2025 for now. We're going to focus on 2023/2024. And that's exactly what my eyes are focused on. But again, I know people want to talk about the future. It's the same thing as whether or not we're asking, will Lonzo Ball come back? People want to discuss these things because it's in the future and we simply don't know at this point in time. But it's fun to talk about. So that's my Giannis Antetokounmpo video. I doubt I'll be talking much more about him unless he comes out with another quote about championships or joining free agency, whatever the case may be. Essentially, this whole thing came out because Giannis said if everybody's not on the right page, he will not re-sign with Milwaukee. So the Bucks are going to have to figure that out because you should not be letting someone like Giannis go. But if he goes, I hope the Bulls are in contention, and I hope the Bulls show enough to Giannis for him to commit his future here. Let's wait and see. But thank you all so much for watching. Drop a like and follow/subscribe if you are new. And I will see you in the next Chicago Bulls related video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.